video for those of you that maybe got a little behind on the Photo P assignment. So I'm on the Art 2 homepage on Canvas. So you're going to go over to Photo P and click on that link, and that'll take you directly to this website. Okay, so let's start to make a new file. So File, New, and New Project. Let's switch over the px to IN for inches, and switch this to 8.5, and then 11 inches. And then resolution, we're going to switch that to 180. Remember, this is in regards to pixels, and the background can be white. That's fine. So let's go ahead and hit create. And now we're going to insert our picture. So File, take a picture, takes us to this. And we're not going to make a new project. We're going to put this in the current project. And then remember, try and get a little closer to the camera and then take a picture. And then it was added to the current account or current project. All right, to get out of this window, we are going to X this, and now it showed up there. Okay, so we're going to move it. Remember, I clicked on the arrow tool and now I can move it. Remember, Photoshop is all about layers, and you can either turn this on or off, doesn't matter. Okay, all right, notice how the background is locked. To unlock it, you can just hit the unlock button, right? All right, but it doesn't matter. Okay, I'm going to zoom in. So let me turn on the keyboard as well, so you guys can see what I am clicking on. There we go. All right, so remember, to zoom in, you go Control plus, and on Chromebook is going to be Control, and on the Mac it's Command. All right, so we're going to zoom in and then erase the background. So eraser tool right here, if you don't see it, click on it, right, and then select eraser tool. And remember, to make the eraser tool bigger, you can click on the right bracket key, and it'll make it bigger here so you guys can see it a little better. All right, so I just use this to get rid of big spaces in the background. Okay, so I'm gonna zoom out a little bit so you can see it better. Let's see that. And we are just going to erase the background as much as we can with the eraser tool. So remember, you're clicking and you're dragging. Click and drag. Click and drag. And it's going to get a little close, but not too close, because we're going to use another tool in a minute to get rid of more of the stuff closer to my face. And remember, if you accidentally erase yourself, Control Z, or you can go over to File, edit and do undo, or step backwards. Okay. All right. And it's okay if you accidentally get a little bit. So once you get closer to the edges of your body or face, you can hold back. All right, so getting pretty close. I'm going to start zooming in. Remember, Control plus, or in my case, Command plus, because I'm using a Mac. And then get a little closer. All right, that's pretty good. If you have a few straggling hairs like I do right there, don't worry if you erase some of them. All right, so now that we're pretty close to my body, I'm going to switch over to another tool. So I'm going to go right here, and this is the object selection tool. So click and hold down. Then I'm going to do the quick selection, okay, and select that. Again, you can make the cursor a little bigger or the brush a little bigger so you can see it a little better, and then start just clicking on the background. And you notice the little crawling ants show up, and that means that's the area that's selected. That's pretty good. It's not on my body. It's just on the edge, and then I'm just going to hit the delete button on my keyboard, right? And everything inside of the crawling ant space got deleted. And then to get rid of them, you go Control D, or in my case, Command D. And I clicked again, and now all that's selected. I'm going to delete that. Okay, Command or Control D again to delete those ants. Select the next section, making sure it's not selecting a good portion, any portions of my body. Control D again to get rid of the ants. Delete, and then just keep doing that over and over. Now, if you try and just keep clicking, sometimes the ants will go into your face or an area you don't want, and sometimes it works, just like it worked right there for me. And then delete. But I like to just go Control D each time. And then delete. Whoops, see? Command or Control Z, because I messed up. Get rid of the crawling ants. And sometimes if you make the brush a little smaller, it'll select smaller areas instead of bigger areas. Okay. Oh, deleted myself again. Command D. There we go. And then just keep making my way up. So if that's not working very well, you can again go back to the eraser tool, which is right there. And then if you feel like you have a better grip with or handle with the eraser tool, by all means, just use that. Sometimes I'll just use the eraser tool if I feel like I can erase it without using any other tools. Remember, there are many ways of doing the exact same thing in Photoshop, or in this case, Photo P. So you can do things, you can do the same thing multiple ways. Some people tell you that one way is better than the other, but it's actually more of a preference thing. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of some of those straggling hairs that I have. Okay, and so the end product of this is going to be just our face and our body, and then we're going to clone it. Oops, I erased too much of my hair. All right. That's pretty good. Make it a little bigger. And just like with anything, the more you practice this, the better you get at it. Okay. And if your hair or head looks a little choppy or cropped, don't be too worried about it. If anything, this is more to get you guys to get used to this program and editing pictures. So in the future, we will be using this when, say you guys create an artwork. Before creating the artwork, you can have your ideas put into this and combine them. And even after you finish your artwork, whether or not you start it with the computer, but then photographing your artwork. And then I'm going to show you guys how to make sure when you photograph it, sometimes when you photograph something, specifically your artwork, sometimes the colors don't look right on your painting or drawing. And we can use Photoshop and this tool or this program to make it look a little more natural of what it actually is supposed to look. I'm going to go over and select the quick selection tool again. Get this background off. There we go, it's a little better. All right, this should be fine. So I'm going to go Control or Command 0 to get a better grip. Now you can either keep your picture this small. If you want to make it bigger, switch over to your selection tool, this arrow, and then go File, Edit, Transform, and do Scale. Remember, this box shows up, and you click on the corners, hold down the Shift key, and it'll enlarge it. Hold down the Shift key while you're dragging, let go of the mouse first, and then the Shift key. Okay, and then hit Return. There we go. All right, so now let's clone our faces. So remember the clone tool, this is it right here. It looks like a stamp. And let me zoom in on my face. Okay, that's pretty good. So you see my cursor, I'm gonna make it a little bigger and then hit the Option key on my keyboard. And whether this is how you know that you're selecting it correctly or pushing the right button, is it turns the cursor into a cross. And that's the target, right? So I'm gonna click right on above my nose in between my eyes, center of my face, right? I clicked it while I'm holding down the button on the keyboard, let go, and then move over to the right hand side. I'm gonna increase my brush, and you notice how you can see my nose there, which is what I put over here. Okay, so now we are able to start making the clone of ourselves. All right, so I'm dragging right now. I'm not letting go of my mouse. If you let go, it'll start where you first clicked on the cursor over here. So I'll start making more over here. So keep that in mind. So let me go back, start over. So again, click and drag, don't let go or else you're gonna have to restart. Okay. So you're gonna just clone your whole face. Okay. So you're gonna wanna make sure that you make the brush size bigger. This will take longer if your brush is smaller. Okay. So one clone is enough. If you want to do one on the other side of your face, that's fine too. I'll leave that up to you. And if you overlap your face onto your first body, that's fine too. And also if you overlap your second face on top of your first face, that's okay. Again, I have not let go of my mouse throughout this whole thing. If you do, you have to start over. Okay. All right, let me get a little bit more of my neck here and my jaw. And now I'm done cloning. So again, you can make another clone of yourself over here if you'd like. But let's say I'm done. Okay, I want to save this. You're gonna go File, and we're gonna not save as PSD. That's a Photoshop document. That's why it says PSD. But we don't have Photoshop, so we're gonna just export it as a JPEG. That's like if you took a picture on your phone, it's automatically a JPEG. So I'm gonna click JPEG, and then this window will show up. It's asking you the quality, and then everything's fine. Whatever you have on there is fine. And then you're gonna hit save, and now it's saved it. And it'll probably save, for me, it saves it in my download documents folder, okay? And that is what you will be submitting to Canvas, all right? And so you're gonna go back to the Canvas page, click on Photo P assignment, and you're gonna submit it here, okay? All right, there you go.